Hello, is that Holly? Holly Johnson?
I can hear you fine. Is the line nice and clear for you?
It's wonderful, actually. Absolutely wonderful.
Good.
Well, first of all, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for giving us the time.
I'm just so quite happy to talk to all those expats in Spain who've converted us from your climb.
Well, if it's any consolation to you, it's not that brilliant today. It's a bit overcast, so...
Oh, well, actually, the sun's just come out here, but it's, that damp that gets to your bones in London, where I'm speaking from.
Oh, that's where you are at the moment, isn't it? You are in London, despite being obviously very, very Liverpool.
Oh, yeah, I've lived in London now for 26 years for me sins.
Do you mind if we talk a little bit about Frankie Goes to Hollywood? Because, I mean, obviously that's the beginning.
Well, yeah, I'll answer a question or so about Frankie, but, I'm told strictly that I'm here to promote a Blast Deluxe edition that's being released on the 22nd of November.
Well, the one thing I wanted to ask you just very quickly about Frankie Goes to Hollywood was all the kerfuffle that took off when Relax was banned by the BBC, because it's something I've always wanted to know is how did that react within the band? I mean, were you glad? Because, I mean, obviously it put the track at number one, but how did you guys actually feel about that?
Well, I can only speak for myself, really, in this situation. I had mixed feelings. On one level, I knew that it was a very exciting event to have your record band. And I actually don't completely agree with you that it wouldn't have gone to number one without the ban, because it was on its way up in that direction. Of course, the band gave extra publicity to the band, gave it a kind of kudos. I think the most highly publicised band number one record before that was Save the Queen by the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
And it gave us a lot of publicity, especially abroad. And the fact that you couldn't hear the record on Radio 1, all the commercial stations played it even more. And it did give us a cachet of rebellion and dangerousness, and which you can't buy, I suppose. No. That sort of image and controversy around a new pop act that has their first single out. So it was good on one level, but I was kind of a bit disappointed, and I didn't understand that they played it 90 times on Radio 1. And, we'd been on Top of the Pops performing it, and then all of a sudden they decided to ban it.
Yeah, it was a very, very strange decision. But the one thing I always remember about the track, and I was working as a club DJ at the time, was the fact that there were so many brilliant mixes of that and these subsequent tracks by Frankie Goes to Hollywood, that it made it so that whether you were a club DJ, a radio DJ, a mobile DJ, you could play it.
Yeah, no, it was... Frankie was the first act to really use multiple remixes of the same track. It had never really been done before that one 12-inch followed another, then another, then another of the same track. And now it's kind of commonplace that records are promoted in that way. But in those days, it wasn't the done thing.
Now, in May '89, the album Blast was originally released, which has those brilliant tracks on it: Love Train, Americanos, and Automatic City. And this is the album that's going to come out.
Atomic City. Automatic City, really?
Isn't that on there?
No, it's called Atomic City, not Automatic.
No, sorry, it's the way it's been written. I do apologise.
What are they like, your researcher? Fire them.
That's it, sacked. But the album was a superb album, and
well, it went to number one on the first week of release in the UK, and it was very exciting for me, my debut solo album, because the second Frankie album, I think, had only got to number 4 in the UK, so I was over the moon. Love Train was released as the first single in January 1989, and that got into the top 5, and then that was followed by Americanos, and then the album was dropped onto the public, and it did really well. I was, very happy about that.
Platinum album. One of the tracks, Americanos, I've been asked to tell you by one of our presenters, Pete, who's a huge Crystal Palace fan. I don't know whether you were aware of it, but it was the track that they played at the beginning of every game. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, and I've actually never heard of a team called Crystal Palace. I only know of one, and they're called Liverpool, and, team really exists, do they?
Yeah, well, that they must do somewhere. I don't know.
Imagination, perhaps.
That's it, yeah.
Crystal Palace. Didn't that burn down in 166 or something?
Oh dear, he will be upset now that you've said that. But never mind.
I'm only kidding,
I know.